Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in. I'm coming live from a bar in Orlando, Florida. So apologize for the corny music and the potential for screaming kids in the background. But I do want to give an update on where Ripple currently sits. This is more of a long-term analysis based on the way that the price action has been moving. And for a lot of other cryptocurrencies, I think it's followed the same trend. Although there have been some potential signs for a recovery on Ripple. Although lately, ever since approximately, February 16th, 17th, 18th, in this range, Ripple had sort of its own version of a death cross happen here in mid to late February. And, really we have been in my opinion, a non-trading zone ever since then. We have some key Fibonacci retracements at the 38.2% and the 23.6%. We've been trading inside of that area ever since February 21st, and you can see we've been going up and down in waves. But so really I wanted to give you the larger picture before I zoom in here to show you sort of where we're currently at today. And I'm looking at the one-day chart on Ripple. So we're not looking at short-term scalping. Of course, there's always opportunities to, to accumulate more units. But we have been trading inside of this level for quite some time. You see our volume, generally hasn't been all that high. We did have, a couple days in the last 2 months or so that have given us a decent amount of volume. This one on the 5th of March, which was actually a selling volume. So there were more sells than buys. And then here on February 10th, right? So almost a whole month apart, we had a decent size volume here that gave us some good price action. But we have really been trading, similar to Bitcoin, we've been trading inside of this channel for quite some time. One of the things that I do want to point out is about 2 weeks ago, we had on March 22nd, large sell orders that go in. And of course, you can see that there's a lot of support that brought the price back up. But every time this happens, it happened actually twice within this week. This one time it happened on the 22nd. The other time it happened on the 18th. So we're really talking about like a 5-day difference. And we see these massive sells. And, we can take this as a fundamental indicator that there are people trying to, get out of their positions. We could take this as an indicator that, well, maybe it's going to be similar to what happened back here on the 2nd of February, where we saw a massive, wick that extends below the body of the candle. And then a couple days later, we saw a massive impulse. So we had a massive increase in price, right? So, we've got a couple different things that could happen. But what it looks like is we've been really trading sideways. We're reaching this point where this particular moving average trend line is getting closer to our price. And you can see we have really been trading below this ever since the 15th of February. So for a lot of people, they do trade based off of candle closures around certain moving averages. And, we've basically been in a sell. If you're taking that standpoint, we've been in a sell on Ripple ever since the 15th of February. And if you did happen to follow that state of thinking, you would still be out, you wouldn't be in, and you would not have lost, going up here, taking a look at this price at 11,172 down to the current price, which is 7,058. We're talking approximately, 34% loss, and that could be potential for you to accumulate more, right? So, even if you were to sell here, you could have purchased anywhere in this area and you'd be ahead for, considering if you're holding, right? If you're holding, you're losing a lot, whereas if you sold based on this moving average and you were just waiting for a re-entry point, you really have nothing to lose at this point, but to just wait for this price to close above this moving average line. And again, I'm on the one-day chart. So you can see we had a couple attempts to close above this moving average, but we still haven't closed there. And you can see actually based on the one-day chart, we had a lot of resistance. When we tried to touch that, we saw a lot of resistance that really brought the price back. and we're still in a downward trend. We have been moving sideways for about 2 weeks now, you know, sitting anywhere between 7,500 and 7,000. But we are, you know, working on a red candle right now. You know, this could potentially go down maybe to 6,500. You know, kind of basing that off of the wicks end on these candles. So just to kind of give you an idea, not just for the current state of Ripple, but for trading in general, if you are going to be, you know, working off of these moving averages, this is a perfect example of how following the signals based on the moving averages can be very profitable. Maybe not profitable in your USD value, because your USD would potentially remain the same, or your BTC value would remain the same. But when you do re-enter the market, you know, this moving average line isn't going to spike all the way back up to 11,000. This moving average is going to continue to move down. And then once this candle finally does close above that line, you know, we're talking about a huge increase in the amount of Ripple that you would have accumulated. And of course, you know, we do have the potential where you could have bought here, sold here, bought here, sold here. But that's assuming that you play the market perfectly, and nobody ever does that. Nobody is able to accurately predict exactly where the price is going to go. You know, we do take these Fibonacci retracement levels, and you know, we can guesstimate where they're going to go based on those, but they're not a crystal ball. They're not going to give you all the answers. They're just going to give us some historical data, and we take that data to make a prediction on where the price is going to go. So I hope this helped. Feel free to like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. We want to spread the word. And again, my key point here is to just educate the market. I do not believe that trading blindly is a way to really make a lot of profits. It's very important for you to understand market movements. It's important for you to understand, you know, how the with your money, because that's what this is at the end of the day. It's your money, and you know, I don't want you to lose it. You don't want to lose it, obviously, but we